Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome everybody to this Cricket Happening show for today. In this part of Cricket Happening show, we will travel from the third Investec Test series which is happening, the third and final test between England and South Africa, where England are fighting hard at 157 for 4 in reply to South Africa's 309. Then we'll travel down to the Sri Lankan Premier League. One match is already over. We'll talk about that, and there's also one more match which is happening right now. I will also give you some live cricket updates on that, and then finally, we look at the Ireland T20 squad that has been named for the World Cup T20 tournament in Sri Lanka. So first, what are we going to do is we are going to go to the Sri Lankan Premier League. I'll come to the England match later. First, we will go to, okay, what I can do is I will first start off with the England match. That will be better. So let's start off with the England match here. So I first take you down to Lord's here on the day 2 in session 3 right now, where South Africa today resuming on their overnight score of 262 for 6. The tail wagged, I would say. Ron Philander went on to get 61 runs off 93 balls with 6 fours. He was stumped by Proud of the bowling of Swan. And then there were some, as I said, the tail wagged. Dale Steyn contributed 26 with 4 boundaries. Mone Morkel played some very good strokes in his 25 with 4 boundaries. And Imran Tahir was not out on 2. Enabled South Africa to finish at 309 all out. So today's wickets actually going to Stephen Finn, 18 overs, 2 maidens, 75 runs and 4 wickets for him. Anderson also joined. Anderson today, well, he didn't get any wicket, but his overnight 3 wickets for 76, 29 overs, 5 maidens, 76 for him. Stuart Broad had only 1 wicket to his name, 24 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 69. And Graham Swan, 24.2 overs, 6 maidens, 63 runs and 2 wickets, 6 overs, 1 maiden, none for 14. So South Africa, so actually England wrapped up the innings pretty quickly. Which was all for the good, 309 all out, and England are starting their innings. Andrew Strauss and Alistair Cook walked in, but Andrew Strauss was really tested by Mone Morkel no end. He was giving him everything. He was getting him to outside edge, getting him to inside edge. He was hitting him on the rib cage. He did everything. He was absolutely peppering Strauss. In fact, he bowled bouncers at him, and Strauss was really uncomfortable at that stage. And Strauss was the one who was really struggling. But well, Mone Morkel had his man, and Mone Morkel, how many times he has actually dismissed Strauss, one could really count. In fact, I'm told that 112 runs have been collected by Andrew Strauss against Mone Morkel. So that really tells you the tale there. And Andrew Strauss was walking as Mone Morkel just before lunch. As soon as Morkel actually nipped the wicket, lunch was called, and Andrew Strauss was gone. He got a ball which was a break back from Mone Morkel, which actually came in, and Strauss was gone. Strauss stumps were hit, and Strauss was walking. Clean bowl by Morkel for 20 with 2 fours. And then after the resumption, there was further trouble for England, as the next man to go was Jonathan Trott, as Dale Steyn got Jonathan Trott LBW for 8. That was the second wicket that made it 38 for 2, and more to follow as Alistair Cook planted his foot forward and trying to drive, got an outside edge. Jack Scalise at the slips made no mistake, and this was the bowling of Steyn. So Cook was gone, caught Gallis bowled Steyn for 7, and that made the score 39 for 3. And further trouble as James Taylor, after hitting 2 boundaries, got a ball from Morkel which lifted on him. All that he could do was fend it to Smith, and he was gone walking. Caught Smith bowled Morkel for 10 with 2 fours, and that made the score 54 for 4. So actually South Africa had done very well to have England on the ropes there at 54 for 4. But right now what we are seeing is an absolute rearguard action. In fact, Jonathan Bairstow has gone on to make his maiden 50 in international cricket, in his maiden 50 in test matches. And what a knock it was. In what one saw about Johnny Bairstow in the stand with Ian Bell, who is not out on 47, the rock of this England batting. What he saw was Johnny Bairstow has definitely learnt his lessons. He was peppered by bouncers. As you know, West Indian Kemar Roche actually peppered him with a lot of bouncers, and Bairstow was left hanging his bat. But this time it was not to be. He has really ironed out those techniques, and today he came up a much stronger person, and the South Africans had to really look at really bowling a good lengths to him before they could do. But also Bairstow played some very neat pull shots. He has been very aggressive, I would say. His 58 contains 8 fours, and that is an admirable support that he has been giving. As I said, it's a real rearguard action launched. right now. These both have actually put 107 runs for the first wicket. Jonathan Bairstow currently is not out on 58 with 8 boundaries. Ian Bell, the rock of English batting, is not out on 47 with 5-4. So 161, they are doing a great job here in reply to 309. Absolute rear guard action here. A lot of clips of the toes by Jonathan Bairstow, some pull shots he played, so he has been looking very impressive. Morning Morkel, 16 overs, 4 maidens, 2 for 43 for him, and the other wicket taker being Dale Steyn, 12 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 36. Even though Vernon Philander has not got amongst the wickets, his bowling figures reach 11.6 overs, 6 maidens, 22 runs for no wicket. Callis bowled 6 overs, 2 maidens, none for 17. Imran Tahir has been impressive, 10 overs, 3 maidens, none for 37. We'll come back to that later and see when I take you down live to the ground to see what exactly is happening. So currently is 154 for 4. We'll come back to that later. So right now I'll take you to the Sri Lankan Premier League match, the match which has finished between Wayamba United. They had 2 days of rest, and today the Sri Lankan Premier League finally started at the Palakele International Stadium, and Wayamba United were the ones who batted first. Well, Wayamba United, they didn't have a good start. Tamim Iqbal was walking as Jacob Oram was the best bowler of the day today. Actually took the wickets. He bowled absolutely economically. These are some splendid bowling figures from Jacob Oram, who really made inroads into the Wayamba United and also kept the batsmen quiet. Jacob Oram, 4 overs, 1 maiden, 6 runs and 3 wickets. Unfortunately, he had to finish on the losing side. Tamim Iqbal was the first to go, caught by Taranga off the bowling of Jacob Oram for a duck. So that was the first wicket. Kamran Akmal contributed a very good 36 with 5 boundaries of 32 deliveries. His ball was Hussain and IK. Other than that, the big guns failed. Mohammad Hafiz was dismissed for 1 by Umar Gul. Jayawardene was clean bowled by Oram for 9. And Umar Akmal was out to the bowling for Rajapaksa for 13. And that score was looking very shaky. In fact, they had been reduced to 90 for 6 at one stage. And then it took some big hitting from at the late stages, where 41 runs were collected from 24 balls by the 2 batsmen, Srivardhana and Veeraratne, and they clubbed at 41 of 24 balls to get the score to some respectability of 147. And in the final analysis, if you see, that turned out to be a winning score thanks to this big hitting coming from Srivardhana, who made 28 of 19 balls with 5 fours, 24 coming from Veeraratne of 17 balls with 2 fours and 2 sixes. 147 for 9 was the score from the Wayamba United. Now, the wicket takers, as I said, Jacob Oram's figures really stood out. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 6 runs and 3 wickets. It was a real shame that they couldn't finish on the winning side. Umar Gul was very costly. He was taken to the cleaners, especially in the later stages when Srivardhana and Veeraratne really went after Umar Gul and clubbed him for 4s and 6s. In fact, 4s and 6s, and Umar Gul 4 overs cost him 48 runs and 2 wickets. Rajapaksa bowled 2 overs, no maiden, 1 for 13. Fernando 4 overs was very costly today, 2 for 43 his figures, 1 for 22 for Sen and IK, and Prasanna, Sekubge Prasanna bowled 2 overs for 7 runs. The Yuva next innings, even though 147 was not a big target, they were really struggling, thanks to some very good bowling from Isru Udana, and especially one would talk about SSC Kumara, 4 overs, no maiden, 33. In fact, he was the man of the match, taking 3 wickets for 33 runs, and he picked up some very important wickets, one would say. Shoaib Malik was run out by Kumara for 5. Chandrapal and Munavira were out for 11 and 26 respectively. 5 from Upul Taranga. Kandambi made 12. The other than Jacob Oram contributed. He was the highest scorer along with Munavira with 26 apiece of 19 balls with 1 4 and 2 sixes. Other than that, the Yuva next innings really crumbled. They couldn't really, even though it was a small score to chase, they really struggled, being 127 all out. As I said, the bowlers would be the ones who will be getting the credit there. Usir Udana 3.1 overs, no maiden, 2 for 19. Kumara 4 overs, no maiden, 3 for 33, fetching him the man of the match award. Mohammad Hafiz 4 overs, none for 33. Pereira 1 2 for 20, and Veeraratne 1 for 16. So what they did is they bowled to the tight lines and lengths, line and length, and restricted the Yuva next innings, and they were really struggling. So Kumara was named the man of the match for the Wayamba United, where Wayamba United winning this match by 20 runs. Now I take you down to the match which is currently happening. In fact, one innings is already over. This is a match which happened between Basna Hira Cricket Dundee, who are all out for 146 of their 20 overs. So again, Hira Nagas will be taking to the next innings, where they will have 147 to win the match at a clip of 7.30 runs per over. It's going to be an interesting match. Basna Hira Cricket Dundee innings, 146 all out in 20 overs. Contributions coming from Tilakatne Dilshan, making 31 balls with 5 fours, 25 from Karunaratne of 22 balls with 3 fours, 32 by Cameron Borgas of 25 balls with 2 fours and 1 6. So these were the primary contributions, and other than that, they couldn't do much. 146 all out. Basnahira cricket Dundee, and the bowling figures: Chamira 4 overs no maiden, none for 29 for Chamira. Alvita 4 overs 1 for 24. Eranga bowled 4 overs no maiden, 3 for 20, was the most successful there. 1 for 26 for Patirana, and Mendes bowled 4 overs no maiden, 2 for 34. So looking at this innings, now as I said, Nagin Hiranagas is yet to bat, and they would be chasing 146. They need 146 in 20 overs, so that will be at the clip of 7.30 runs per over. That is as far as this is concerned. Now we'll have a look at the ICC World 2020 team, because all the teams are slowly selecting their 2020 squads, and this is now Ireland, who have actually named their 2020 squad for the World Cup. William Porterfield is the captain. Alex Cusack, George Dockrell, you know what a talented left-arm spinner he is. He has been doing some splendid work in the English County Cricket League. He's been picking up a lot of wickets, and he's young, so that is the big advantage for Ireland. Trent Johnston, we all know about him. He's an experienced bowler. Neil Jones, Ed Joyce, he's an importer from England. He actually transferred to Ireland. He's been doing well there. The new faces are Tim Murtagh. Tim Murtagh has been doing very good in the English county cricket scene. Has finally shifted his allegiance to Ireland, so he will be playing for Ireland. Tim Murtagh will get his first knock there in the World Cup. The O'Brien brothers, Kevin O'Brien is, what a dangerous player he is. He already has the record for the fastest century in one day in World Cup. So what a proud record that would be. And Neil O'Brien, his brother, was also a wonderful player. Boyd Rankin, well, probably one is going to see the last of Boyd Rankin for Ireland here, because Boyd Rankin is definitely going to be migrating to England. Probably is going to qualify for England. So Boyd Rankin is also going to go the Ian Morgan way, probably. So Boyd Rankin would like to do whatever he can for his country right now. Paul Stirling is one of those talented batsmen coming in from this Ireland squad. He's a wonderful batsman to watch. He has been getting some good scores in the English county scene. Max Sorensen is a very good bowler. He could be a very good pace combination. Max Sorensen and Trent Johnston, they would form a very formidable bowling combination. And then we have Stuart Thompson. Now Stuart Thompson is a new cap there. He's just 21 years of old. I'm told he's an all-rounder, so he gets his first knock there. First taste of international cricket. Andrew White and Gary Wilson, as you know, they are very, very useful players. Andrew White and Gary Wilson right down the order. They can bat and bowl too. Now, the other thing, the only notable omission would be John Mooney. John Mooney has been contributed, and I think he has contributed a lot to this Ireland success with his off-spin bowling, with his batting, but unfortunately due to injury he is out. So that could be a very big blow for the Irish team. But Irish team, one could wish them good luck. It looks to be a very good combination that they are having, and one is looking forward to Ireland doing well in this T20 World Cup. So good luck, Ireland. Well, dear fans, now I'll take you live. I'm just going to take you very live to the Pallekele International Stadium, where 3 balls have been bowled and 11 runs have been collected. But you'll be a bit surprised to know that there are some extras coming into that. In fact, there are 1 by and 7 wides, and Imran Nazir is not out on 2. Ahmed Shahzad is not out on 1. 11 for no wicket, chasing 146 to win, 147 to win. For the Nagin Hiranagas innings was just begun. 3 balls have been bowled. And meanwhile, I give a live update here. Finally, before I leave this cricket show, England have moved the score to 166 for 4. This partnership is going on well right now. Johnny Bairstow is not out on 59. Johnny Bairstow is not out on 60 with 8 fours, and Ian Bell is not out on 50. So Ian Bell has reached his 50 with 6 fours. So that's the live cricket update coming in from Ram Studios here on the Cricket Happening show. That will leave me, dear cricket fans and friends and subscribers. I'll have to unfortunately wind up this cricket conversation for now. See you all tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.